Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Understanding Concepts of Physics. We have been doing oscillations since some time and we have been doing displacement and maximum and minimum displacement in the previous video. In case if you have not watched the previous video, I would request you to go back and search the playlist in which you will find out this video. Every chapter has its own playlist and you can just see what I had discussed in the previous video. Today we are going to discuss something about maximum and minimum velocity, and in the next video we are about to discuss about maximum and minimum acceleration. So let's just start with this velocity, maximum velocity and the minimum velocity. So maximum velocity, if I wish to find out, I will be starting with the formula for velocity. Now this formula I have derived in one of my previous videos, how this formula comes. Yes, definitely in order to go ahead we will have to remember this formula. V is equal to plus minus omega root of a square minus x square, where x is displacement, a is amplitude, omega is angular frequency and v is velocity. Now when we are at the mean position, if you see, when we are at the mean position, the value of x is fixed, the x ka value is 0 and I'll call as v is equal to v max. Now this is basically a logic which I explained you while I was discussing about this diagram. So when you pull this block to the right hand side and if you are holding it at this point, and as soon as you release it, this block is going to increase its velocity and it will have the maximum velocity at the center. So that means we know that at mean position, when x is equal to 0, the velocity would be maximum. So velocity would be maximum at the center position. And when we see that this block is oscillating back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, the velocity with which it is coming from here, the velocity would be maximum at this position, and then it is going to slow down, slow down, slow down, and it will reach this point which is shown in this diagram. So momentarily it is going to stop at this position. If it is stopping, that means the velocity, definitely it has to come to 0, which will be the minimum velocity. And definitely when it comes back, it will have the maximum velocity at this position and the minimum velocity would be at this position. So basically it is just oscillating back and forth, and you can see that at this position and at this position the velocity comes out to be 0. But velocity would be maximum at the centermost position, and we do not know at this moment what is the maximum velocity. That's the reason we are going to discuss that today's video. So we know this much, that maximum velocity is at the mean position. So when x is equal to 0, because at mean position the x ka value is 0, velocity is maximum. So maximum velocity is equal to plus minus omega root of a square, and wherever there was x I have put a 0. So if you see in this equation, wherever there was x I have put a 0. So the maximum velocity, now 0 square is 0 and a square minus 0 is a square, and root of a square will get cancelled and you will get only a. So what remains is v max is plus minus omega a. Now just note that why it is plus minus, because there is a chance that this block is moving to the right, so that is plus omega a, and if the block is moving to the left, then it is minus omega a. So this is what maximum velocity is for a oscillating body. Now when we talk about minimum velocity, for minimum velocity what we do is, again we use the same formula, plus minus omega root of a square minus a square, and I just showed you in the diagram logically how the velocity would definitely come out to be 0. Even in that equation also you can see that the velocity will come out to be 0. So minimum velocity, by logic I have explained you how it comes at the extreme position. And extreme position pe you know that the value of x is plus or minus a, that is the maximum displacement from the mean position. Now if you put this value of x is equal to plus minus a into this value of x, you will find out x is replaced by a. So a square is a square, and even if you substitute a minus a, you will find out the minus a square is also a square. So minus a square is also a square, and a square plus a square is also a square. So ultimately a square minus a square, this minus sign is of this. A square minus a square goes to 0, and root of 0 is 0. 0 into anything is 0. So you get velocity to be as equal to 0. So the minimum velocity is 0. I've just clubbed that into a small conclusion here. Minimum velocity, maximum velocity. The minimum velocity is 0 and the maximum velocity is plus minus omega a. and the position is different. If you see mean position minimum velocity is at the extreme position and the maximum velocity is at the mean position. So that's it in this video. We have discussed about maximum and minimum velocity, and hope you have understood this thing. And in case you have understood and you have following my videos in some time, then subscribe the channel in case you have not done so, and keep watching the videos from the playlist in order to understand in a better manner. Keep watch the entire video in order to understand the concept. If you just see partial video, if you do not complete the video, then it would be difficult for you to grasp. So thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.